So today I'm going to talk about a very common law when it comes to human psychology, but it's often applied to economic theory, where they look at, why people make certain decisions in different scenarios and that sort of thing. And it's called loss aversion. Sometimes people call it risk aversion. And basically is that we as humans have a preference for a sure thing. We want a guaranteed outcome. This is why somebody is more likely to take a position that is a salary position compared to a commission position, just because there's a little bit more security, and we prefer, even if it's less, to be assured something than to go and try to get something larger. And it's very similar to the fixed mindset, because you don't want to risk losing in any way, so you take the thing that you know for sure you're going to be able to do. And how that relates to fixed mindset is, as a growth mindset, we'll risk to be able to learn, and we'll look at that as a positive thing, whereas somebody who has a fixed mindset is going to look at it as something that's risky, and they don't want to do it because they don't want to feel stupid, they don't want to feel like they can't do it, they don't want to fail per se. Now, we as humans tend to feel like 2 times as strong for a negative effect. Like we feel it twice as much when we are losing something versus gaining. So it could be the exact same thing. You could be, let's say you want to gain $1 or lose $1. You would feel twice as bad losing $1 than you would be gaining $1, even though it's the exact same thing. That's why some people prefer to sort of pay in full when they sign up for something, because it makes them want to do something more, unless compared to when they're just paying as they're going, right? So there's a risk aversion here. And it's also why some people don't even get started and don't even commit to things in the first place. So it's a double-edged sword here, where let's say you're starting something and you just say, I'll see how it goes. I'll try it out only for the first month, and we'll see how that goes. Oftentimes that's not strong enough for you to get going, but what you're doing there is you're trying to avert any sort of risk of loss. You're trying to avoid potentially looking stupid, losing, feeling bad. So my point is that you're going to understand right away that it's a long-term thing, and get into it and get going. Don't even think about the short term, because this is not about getting there and then like, okay, I'm okay. It's about getting into something a little bit larger and realizing it's going to take a little bit longer. But more importantly, you don't just try it. Don't get me wrong, you can start somewhere, you can do something to begin with. There's nothing wrong with starting with something. But the mindset is, if you're trying to get into it, you can't think, I'll see how it goes, then I will apply myself. I will sign up for a month, then feel how it goes. No, go for, like, in your mind, it's longer than a month. It has to be, right? But going back to risk aversion. So people who are risk averse tend to be more stuck in some scenarios, because they feel like, I'll use a traffic example. Let's say you're driving in traffic, like most people, and you're thinking about, okay, there's an exit here. I could probably go in that exit and maybe I can speed things up, or I can sit in here and this is probably going to take me less time. Somebody who's more risk averse, someone who doesn't want to risk things, is going to stay in the traffic, where somebody who's more like, they want to seek out risk in life, and or they take a little bit more chances. They're going to be the ones that sort of peel off and go off the exit and try to find another route. Will that necessarily be faster? Who knows? But they're willing to figure it out and find out. Whereas somebody who's stuck in traffic is sort of, I know what's going on here, I'm going to stick with it because it's the thing that I know rather than the thing that I don't know. Now, too much risk aversion, it can deter you. It can even stop you from starting in the first place, because there is some risk involved with getting started. You risk losing time, you risk missing time with friends, you risk the lifestyle that you're currently enjoying. So there's a lot of things that you might be risking, and you're trying to avert that loss. But the point is, you're more likely to avoid something that you're going to lose compared to what you're going to gain. So you might feel like you're going to gain something out of getting started, but you maybe feel like there's more stuff that you're losing. You're more likely to weigh out that twice as much as that. So in the sense that, even if it's one thing that you'll lose and one thing that you'll gain, you're more likely to just stay where you are and not even bother. So what I want you to do is use that to your advantage, think about it, and try to really harness that growth mindset, because that's what's going to help you get to your goal.